Yo, hold on. Yo, this is streaming. This is a streaming world. Well, don't always be right immediately. Oh, damn. All right, there we go. Now you can see me. All right. I gotta pull up my burner account. Hold on a second. Make sure. I pull up the burner account because I gotta make sure like I can see like who comes on. Um, that way, people are like, "Hey, I was on there. You didn't shout me out." Like, nah. All right. So you know why we here? Damn, I was up the gym yesterday doing my leg workout, and early in the morning, I didn't get my leg workout done. So, but you know why? And I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna give this probably about an hour time, and then I'm out. Yo, what up, Amazon? How you doing, girl? Uh, I'm gonna give this about an hour of my time. I will post it on YouTube if you haven't seen the whole hour. Okay. It'll be on my YouTube channel, Mad Scientist. It's also going to be on my Facebook. So if you want to go back, double back, and see the whole thing, that's fine. But I'm gonna give it about an hour of time, my time, and then I'm out. Um, because I got stuff I gotta do. I gotta get ready for tonight. I got event tonight. Tomorrow I gotta get ready. And as y'all know, I'm in school, so I got an essay I gotta write. And good morning, Amazon. So I'm gonna react. I'm gonna give my thoughts on it, and then I'm done for the weekend. I'm done unless something catastrophic happens. Um, yeah, I'm done with this. Not because I don't like it or anything. It's just I got a life. This is and my life is not commenting on Drake and Kendrick. My life is actually DJing, making beats, going to school, getting A's, studying. You know what I'm saying? That's my life. Um, all right, so let's just get into it. First things first. I'm gonna go with Family Matters first, right? And give my opinion. I'm not going to give the deep dive. Like I always tell y'all could easily go. Let me see if it's up there. Yeah, Genius. Family Matters. Yes. Yeah, it's already up there. Family Matters, Genius. Let me show y'all really quick so you guys can actually see. See, it's already up here. Okay. And the thing is, you could always add it, find the annotations, just click on the line. Okay. She tries to warn him not from using profanity throughout the disc. Okay. Um, you could go through the annotations, right? Um, and you could go through the deep dive yourself. All right. So I'm just letting you know you can do that yourself. You don't need me to sit up here and go, bar for bar, blow for blow about what happened. Okay. My perspective is more of a working professional that's in the business, that's doing what, that's actually in this game, and I'm giving you my reaction. I'm a DJ, music producer, so you just getting my like if I'm on the bench watching it happen, right? All right. But first we're gonna go with Family Matters, right? I do believe, and I told everybody yesterday, we needed Drake to be Drake. We needed Drake to do what Drake does, but on a super level. Drake is not a lyricist like that. Like, not on the level of Kendrick. And if he wanted to try to prove that, he should have probably, like, he needs to get better advisors. I'm gonna just be real. I'm not hating on Drake. I'm just saying your advisors are riding too hard. Like, they need you too much. Like, they probably have to be so loyal to you that you don't allow them to make money anywhere else. So therefore, what happens is they can't do anything but tell you what you want to hear. And if your advisors told you that you can go bar for bar against Kendrick on any level, whether it's surface or deep level, then yeah, that's a problem. Because not only were we not expecting it, right? We were not looking for that. It's not your best. It's not best of who you are. Okay. What made back to back so good against Meek was not the lyric for lyric, bar for bar. It was the vibe. Okay. You are best at that. And you needed somebody in your camp to tell you, look, your strength is creating a vibe. Your strength is not bar for bar. Okay. And the industry, the community, hip hop community gave you that pass already. We gave you that handicap. We're like, we're not looking for bars from you. So for me as a DJ, I think my first thought, my first disappointment is that I don't have the big banger that I could play this weekend on Cinco de Mayo. This is like in California, this is like a big weekend. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend. And it's like, I don't have that big banger. What am I going to play? You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of artists out there are like, hey, well, you got this, you got that. What do you mean? No big. I'm talking about California. And I'm talking about Southern California. Okay, we're not talking about Oakland. We're not talking about, the Bay. We're not talking about San Francisco. We're talking about Southern California. And there's certain music that we got to play. And this is actually, Drake has, as a club guy, has more sway in the clubs in terms of his music. Drake's music has more sway in the clubs down here. And we were left out. We're left with nothing. Okay? So there's no big banger. Too bad for me, thinking like Drake has some good advisors, some serious people around him. But okay, now I know he does not. All right, so we get with this Family Matters, which essentially is his version of Super Ugly or Hit 'Em Up. I would call it more Hit 'Em Up, right? Or Super Ugly. Choose which one, right? So the first problem I have is his approach. His approach is horrible. The second approach is this. Like, you've had people calling you white boy this whole time. And I know, like, this is not the thing that everyone's talking about, right? This is not the thing, but it is important, and it will become more important. It's going to become one of those things where you're never going to get rid of that white boy moniker. Okay? Like, they're going to call you white boy. Everyone's going to say you're black, but you're not black. You get the black with asterisk. You're forever, because these are little things that unfortunately, I don't know how to put it, but you're from Canada. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing. I don't know. Like, sometimes your blessing, your greatest blessing is sometimes it can be your curse. What do I mean by that? All right. You said that we don't, it's one thing to drop the N-word. All right, we kind of forgive you for that as Black people, but you dropped the S-bomb. What's the S-bomb? We don't call our ancestors slaves. And this is just for all, like, I have like a lot of Latino friends, a lot of Mexican friends, a lot of Cambodian friends, a lot of friends from different cultures, right? And I'm always trying to explain to them, like, stop using the slave word. Stop saying slave. It's not like, you're going to get canceled for saying it, but it just kind of gives us an indication of where you are mentally. Like my ancestors, I can go back into my genetics and my ancestors. They're not slaves, they were human beings. Okay. And so the fact that Drake is like driving around talking about, he's Black, he's got a Black dad. It's like, yo, your Black dad didn't tell you that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's one of those little things. I haven't seen anybody else talk about it. Okay. I've seen some tweets about it. People are like, yo, my ancestors were not slaves. You know what I'm saying? We don't call them slaves. We call them ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of those things where it's like, it just kind of makes this, this is not going to age well. This Family Matters is not going to age well. Number one, like I said, the approach, you're not going to like out bar for bar Kendrick. Like just thinking like, I'm going to drop some tea on Kendrick. And then secondly, dropping the slave. Some people not going to care. I get it. They're not going to care. But there's a whole community of Black people who, I'm not saying you lost them. I'm just saying like they just gonna look at you different from now on. Unless you make that atonement, I mean, you can always come around and be like, oh, I didn't know. Usually those people who will hold it against you will probably be like, all right, well, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay. I'm one of those people, like when I hear Black people use the word slave, I'll be like, wow, okay. Like I'm not gonna cancel you, but I just kind of look at you different, like, all right. The Black Messiah reference, that was like, come on, bro. Like, you're going to be called white boy. You kind of double down on it. It's like, okay, they're going to call you the white boy. Then the other thing that was problematic, and it's what it goes to that you're a white guy, is you went to this approach, Drake, with this with name dropping. YG, okay, Chuck T, which that's the game, CB. All right, let me just tell you, Chris Brown will never be on your side. Never. Let me look you in the camera. Chris Brown, Drake, Chris Brown will never be on your side. Never, ever. Chris Brown is the most competitive, petty, I'm never going to forgive you type person. Okay? Ever. Chris Brown is dissing people. Like, he's dissing people that were like, why are you still dissing that person? You're petty, Drake. Yes, you are. You're like, yeah, I'm petty too. Not Chris Brown level petty. Okay? I think the only way Chris Brown will be on your side, it would have to be aliens that are coming down here to attack the world. And it will be like, I kind of think that Chris Brown will take the side of the aliens. If the aliens came down and said, we're taking Drake, Chris Brown will give you up. That's how much Chris Brown don't like you forever. Like, I think I would have a better chance of getting Chris Brown to have my back. And he don't even know me. but he'll have my back, but he will never have your back. Okay? I know YG is your guy, and y'all made some good music together. Okay? I saw Mustard. He went dot. Essentially, you don't have YG in your camp. Okay? And I can tell you, I'm not affiliated. I'm from Compton. Okay? Everybody knows that. I'm not, in it. I'm not into politics. I'm not into the street politics, and I'm not even affiliated with street politics. But I'm a Compton dude, right? I'm a Compton guy, and I can pretty much tell you, trying to divide Compton is the way that you try to do it was not even an option. It's not. It's not an option. It's not. And again, it goes to the white guy thing, like, you're not really black. Because if you were black and if you understood the West Coast, like that's not even controversial to say. Like, YG is not going to go against Kendrick. Like, that can't happen. That happened. If that happens, it's not because of you. And there'll be so many other forces behind the scenes stopping that from happening, that you can't make that happen. You can't make that move. There's too many other forces that have influence in Compton, on the West Coast, that would not even allow that to ever, like this that you tried to make happen. Chris Brown, The Game, and YG go against Kendrick. No, that's impossible. It's impossible. Okay, there's just too many forces out there, and there's too many people that, as big of a star as you think you are, like, no, you're not bigger than that. You're not bigger than that. There's just that. I mean, you can call it Illuminati, you can call it whatever, but that's just not going to happen. And I'm, like I said, I don't know these three guys, on any level. Okay. I'm not going to talk about that, but I'm just saying, like, that was a misstep. Okay. Yeah. And then I think the last thing is, why are we talking about, you got like a 7-minute song. Why are we even talking about, like, you already took out Metro Boomin. Why are we talking about him again? Why are we talking about A$AP Rocky? Like, it's confusing to me. Like, why are we even dealing with that? Why are we even talking about Future? Which it seems to me like you don't really want to have smoke with Future. Like, why would you even mention it if you, like, it seemed like to me Future probably is riding with his boy. I mean, come on. That's his, yeah. Like, literally, Future has been telling you, if Metro Boomin don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Hey, he's been telling you this for years. So if he just proved his own little moniker, Lil Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Like, that's what Future did, and I can't be mad at that. I'm mad that y'all don't have. Like, oh my God, if you was on Like That, Drake. Yes, if you was on Like That, I don't know, if you was on Like That, like, that would have been the move. I mean, that would have been the move. If you were trying to divide and conquer, I would have went that direction, right? I would have went, all right, look, let's do it Like That remix, so it could go blow for blow. Like, Kendrick was on Like That, so now let me be on Like That, and then that would have been a way better approach, right? Can you imagine if I had two versions of Like That, one with Kendrick and one with you on it? Oh, I think the community would have been wild, right? but you got to have real niggas around you. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly you in the future don't have a problem because you're like, we don't even have a problem like that. And Metro Boomin would have been crazy to say no to that, right? Even if you approach it like, look, nigga, I said what I said, you know what I'm saying? And yes, but here's the thing. Let's go blow for blow. Let's go vibe for vibe. Let's see who can have the better like that. People in Jamaica do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? You'll have the same rhythm. They call it rhythm. I'm not gonna do the phony accent. They have the same beat, and they go, who has the same, and being from Canada, around a lot of Jamaican immigrants, I have to ask, like, are you around them? You have the accent, but are you around them? Because some of them would have told you, like, hey, you can have the same beat, and whoever you could have said, I took your beat from you. Ice Cube, Jacket for Beats. It's precedent. You could have went that direction. I just solved it for you. Of course, I'm really black and I'm really in hip hop. So I would have told you don't drop the slave line. I would have told you like don't go bar for bar. I'm gonna get into more about the bar for bar when I go through Kendrick, but it's like, bro, like you could have went to me, told different directions, and then you going at the weekend, which you're dividing your own city. But I could pretty much tell you, okay, the community, the alphabet community, I don't know if that's, please don't cancel me if that's, I just don't know all the alphabet, so I'm just kind of shorthanding it. They're gonna have something to say. You know, you may not care because I don't know if that's your crowd or anything, but they are going to have something to say. So you didn't look, they may not be your friends and you may not care, but that's a community you don't want to make your enemy. Okay. You kind of like confused everybody because I was like, did he say Lil Wayne or Leland Wayne? I'm glad there's Genius to clear that up. I thought you went at Lil Wayne, but it was Leland Wayne. Okay. But was that a shot? Was that a shot? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of crazy. You had to know. Like, somebody should have told you, like, man, that sounds too much like Lil Wayne. For a minute, people, like, that was trending on X. It was like, Lil Wayne? What? He dissing Lil Wayne, right? I just think that for the most part, and in the van, that was kind of stupid. It was kind of corny. I mean, I get it. You understand the significance of the van. You know, niggas from Compton, we all love the van, right? But it was kind of corny, to be honest, you know. And it just said you already had this already planned out. You couldn't just say drop this. You had this planned out. And the fact that Kendrick came 11 minutes after you kind of validates what he's saying. Like, I know what you're going to do. I know your angles. And then number two, you got a leak in your camp. Like, you just played into everything that Kendrick has been saying. Okay. And you essentially, you know, it's like when you play sports, one of the things that they always tell you, and it was a hard lesson. I remember I was running track when I was young, right? And I was in middle school and I was killing everybody. The whole season I was undefeated. So it was championship time because in track, you don't just like become the champion and then you like you gotta like win every race, including the champion. So you can win every race leading up to the championship, but if you don't win the championship, you don't. So I remember that when the championship came, I was like, let me change my game plan, right? I remember that. I was like young. So this was a good lesson to learn because I was super young. And on the last, I mean, I could blame the coaches, but in a way, yes, let me blame the coaches because they didn't foresee that I would sit up here and be like, okay, let me change it up a little bit because I want to do something. I get it. I wanted to do something that I saw the professionals do, right? Which was called drafting. That is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to see if I could draft and win. What I was doing was just sprinting out. I was just like, look, I can run faster and I can run faster for further than everybody else. I'm not a sprinter. I can just run fast for a long time. Sprinters can run fast for a short duration. I can run fast for long duration, right? That was my superpower. I can run fast. I had like 4 laps. I'm doing the laps, boom, I'm done. Like everybody else is still out there jogging, I'm just, hey, let me get this done. I'm like, all right, my shoes is off. I'm waiting for the presentation. Give me my trophy. I'm out. But I remember I learned this technique of drafting, right? To conserve energy and then go at the end. It was something that the professionals do, right? People who really like run track at the highest level do, right? I didn't understand that I'm not running against professionals. I'm running against kids who, once they see me way ahead, like 2 laps ahead, they quit. They're done. I could have basically, if I'm trying to conserve energy, the best thing to do, run 2 laps ahead, and then they quit. Right? Like, that's what I was doing the whole season. It would be to the point of like, man, I'm not trying to catch this kid. I'll take second, right? I didn't understand that. So I tried to change my game in a championship. Well, I did this whole little drafting thing, and at the end, I'm not a sprinter. So I end up winning every race, and then in the championship coming in third. Because I allow those people to keep up with me. I tell that story because, again, it seems to me that Drake he tried to change his game. And I think Jay-Z mentioned it too. Trying to change your game in the 9th inning? Don't at me if I get it wrong. Okay? But the point I'm trying to make to you guys, to Drake, is listen, you got to be who you are. Okay? You are who you are when you got here. Pretty much Jay-Z has told you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you are who you are. You was who you was. And I think Drake kind of forgot about that. Okay? So the last part of this, and then I'm going to be out, is let's talk about Kendrick. Okay? Because I think for the most part, Drake lost his round. Okay? This is like, to me, in my count, this is round number 2. And I mean, he had like producers. It looked like he got, like I said, he needs to get every producer he know, right? He needs to get every producer he knows. And he did. He got everybody he knows. Beat wise, the beat was all right. It was not that banger though. I don't know 40's real name. Hold on, let me see for a minute. What is 40? What is producer real name? Yeah, I knew he had like a Hebrew name. I don't see him on here. I don't see 40 a part of this. which to me, like that's a problem. I will say this. I think 40 is Drake. I'm still on you, Drake. I think 40 is one of your. Yo, what up, Unique? How you doing? I just saw you, bro. 40. I think 40 is one of your superpowers. 40 is one of your superpowers, Drake. Like, you came to this fight unequipped. And honestly, I think you need to fire everybody except for 40. Boy Wonder, you can keep him too. Take Key, yeah, you've been there for a while. But you need to start firing people. You need to start firing people. Start letting people go. Get people off their payroll. I know it's gonna hurt because they're gonna come out, they're gonna come back at you, they're gonna start dropping secrets. But it seems like to me they've already started anyway. It seems to me that they've already started dropping secrets anyway and feeding the beast. Call Kendrick. Like, they're already feeding the beast. So you might as well just go ahead and clear house. Don't clear 40. I don't believe that. I know what Pusha T said, and that's probably a situation that you and him just gonna have to live with, but you're gonna have to live with that one. Okay. I don't think that 40 woke up one day and said, let me do this to Drake. I don't think that. I'd be shocked. I don't think that. I think he probably was like, I don't think it came out like, ooh, let me tell you a secret. I just think that he was probably just talking, just on some general basis. And maybe you could say, well, why are you talking about that? He, that kind of conversation is probably with somebody that he really, really likes, trusted, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh man, I trusted her and she betrayed. Like, I would believe that narrative. I would not believe the narrative that 40 was like, ooh, let me go ahead and, hey girl, I'm gonna tell you this. You start telling your people. Like, I don't believe that narrative. So keep 40 around you. But all these other 7 producers, go ahead and drop them. And then there's a lot of people in your camp that you probably need to drop because they just they ill-equipped you for this battle. And it's not a matter of don't battle, like you had to battle. But it was a matter of what's your approach? How do you come at it? The little things, the little bitty details that you were going to have to pay attention to when you're going against Kendrick. Okay. Now let's talk about Kendrick. Let me explain to you guys this so that you guys can clearly understand any MC that says, I don't think that there'll be another MC that will warrant a response from Kendrick. I don't think he's ever going to respond to anybody. But let me give you the first indication. J. Cole was like, I'm out. J. Cole, no one ever said that J. Cole was whack. And from all indications, what I'm seeing is now everybody understands why J. Cole stepped away. So he's back into good graces. Okay. Now we understand that my understanding, what I'm thinking happened was that J. Cole was like, hey, you know what? Let's squash this. Let's just come together as a big 3. Let's make it the biggest record. That way we can all be like good people, good friends, right? He probably came up and he probably convinced Drake, but then he realized Kendrick and he was like, all right, well, maybe I could bait Kendrick into it. But then, like, sometimes there's situations where you think you know your homie, right? And you do. You know your homie. But most of us know our homies 99%. That's the max we get. There's always a 1% that you're just not going to know from your homie. There's always a 1% from your homie that you're just not going to know. Now, I think that this is probably part of the 1% that J. Cole was like, I didn't know that about Kendrick. Okay. And so I think that's probably why he was like, I'm going to bow out. Because I think he found out something about Kendrick that he probably didn't know. And it's not on a bad thing. It's just the level of like where Kendrick is. Like, we are all fine. I'm not surprised at where Kendrick is, but I think the world is kind of surprised. I'm not saying I know Kendrick. I'm saying I listen to Kendrick and I'm aware of where he's coming from. So there's a lot of things that are not surprising me. But even with that, I'm going to say I'll probably know like 1% of Kendrick, right? And so the fact that J. Cole bowed out, like, well, we see that. Okay? We see that. Here's the next thing. When Kendrick, there are people who study the Bible, books. And this is a Black community thing, okay? And this is not something, I'm sharing this with all my people because I have like a really diverse group. I'm in California. I got hella Mexican friends. I got Cambodian friends. I got, Filipino friends, Samoan friends, white friends, hella diverse. It's California. Okay, there are people who study the Bible. Okay. Then there are people who study the words in the Bible. And then there is another level of people who study the words, the numbers, and the significance of the Bible. And just to kind of give you guys a better understanding, like me, you guys know I'm in school taking classes, and I'm taking this one class called Pagan Culture, right? So this is around the Roman period. Not to get into some boring ass lecture, but before it was called organized religion, right? You had different areas. You had Rome, you had Greece, you had ancient Kemet, or they call modern day Egypt, right? The Romans, they were just like we want to keep our empire. That's pretty much what they were studying. How to keep our empire intact. So that's government. You had the Greeks who were like, all right, we're not really, we got our stuff together. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. They're trying to study who they are as human beings, right? So you got these different philosophies, right, that are developing. The Egyptians or the ancient Kemetics, they are studying God, okay? They're studying the significance of God as it relates to everything, which is why things end up being the way they are. The Romans, they were just like, we don't care about God. What we care about is the empire. Okay, it's what you focus on. So if all you're focusing on is, I want the empire, you're going to be best at it, especially when the other two people, okay, and essentially that's Drake, right? He's just more focused on the empire, right? J. Cole, look at this, going way super reaching deep. J. Cole is like the Greeks. Let me understand myself as a person. And then you got Kendrick, ancient Kemetic. I just took this like to a whole nother, Johnny, I told you this shit that I'm learning is so significant, right? All right, so Kendrick is with the Kemetics. He's with the Africans. He's coming, his whole thing is, I'm going to understand how God works and how he influences the entire universe. So the ancient Kemetic people, they were learning all the mathematics. They were learning language. They were learning cosmology. astrology, physics. There's a reason why the aqueducts and the Colosseum is barely standing, but yet the pyramids are still there. Do you like not understand this? It goes deeper than what you guys are like, oh, no. And I'm saying for Kendrick, he's working on that level. So if you're trying to rap, every word that Kendrick pins out is significant. Just go to Genius and look it up. The annotations go for like 4 levels deep. I was telling my manager Johnny yesterday, like Kendrick is playing 4-dimensional chess, sometimes 5, sometimes 6. And I won't be surprised if in 10 years from now we look at these raps and find another hidden message. Like, it's just too much. So I'm not going to comment. I'm going to just tell you right now, I'm not commenting on the kid thing. For me, that's where like I drop off. I have no interest in that. Okay. I don't know if Drake has a secret child, and it's not my business. And whatever happens in that situation, God bless everybody in that family. Okay. And I know I said everything about Drake, but everything that I say is going to be straight music related, business related. When it comes down to families, I personally, that's my tap out. Like if I'm in a battle, I'm not talking about family. Okay. That's me. That's me personally, right? So I don't know about that. But I will say the approach that Kendrick took on writing this was just diabolical. Like he lived up to his boogeyman name. I'm not talking about the content, I'm talking about the approach. Let me write a letter. It's historical. Like that is like he wrote a letter. Like that's like Nas writing One Love to his homies in writing One Love. I'm looking at the comments. Writing One Love, like he wrote a letter, and then he ended the letter with "Dear Aubrey." I mean, and then he called him a 37-year-old man, but showing up as a 7-year-old boy. I mean, even that level. Drake calls himself the boy. And he's like, yeah, you the boy. Like, there's just levels and spilling tea and Drake saying, oh, he played into the stereotype, like you're a douchebag. And Drake was like, I'm a douchebag. Yeah, I'm gonna be a douchebag. And he's like, and Kendrick is like playing Kung Fu Kenny. You know, that's the whole thing. Take your energy, transform it against you. I mean, Kendrick is just, you got to understand, like, Kendrick is part of a community that studies, and they're not cramming. Kendrick is probably at a study group right now, not even thinking about this beef. He's not popping bottles. There's no champagne. He's at a study group right now. And they're not studying Drake. They're studying the significance of time, space, language, okay? The alignment of planets. There are people out there who study this. And so Rakim was talking about that in his time, okay? Like Kendrick is from that camp, and he's better at it than Rakim. So somebody should have told Drake, you're not battling just Kendrick. Kendrick studies MCs and he's bringing their energy to it. He's taking the best of Nas. He's taking the best of Rakim, KRS-One. He's taking the best of Ice Cube. Okay, there's some tactics in there. Like I said, I'm not going to go blow for blow, but there's some Ice Cube tactics in there. Okay, there's some Jay-Z tactics. He's studying. You might have thought that he's taking you more serious. He's giving you more respect than you gave to him. Okay, Drake, you're talking about going on vacation. Like, Kendrick is somewhere right now reinforcing himself. And that's the hard part. What you have to remember is Rome rose and Rome fell. Okay? And right now, Rome is a good place to go sightsee. You know what I'm saying? But nobody goes there and says, I want to learn some knowledge. They go to Egypt for that, Kemet. They go to Africa for that, for knowledge. They go to Rome to just see the ruins. Are you getting what I'm saying to you? They're just going there to see the ruins. And Kendrick already knows that. So, let me wrap this up. I didn't want to say this, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but it looks like to me that this is over. This is done. I mean, is it done? And it has nothing to do with the kids. I'm just taking it strictly from a lyrical level. Like, it's done. The conversation that people are going to have now is Kendrick versus Rakim. Who is truly the God MC? That's going to be the question. That's going to be the debate now. The debate of the big three. The big three is done. There is no such thing as the big three. Okay. Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention is that about the West Coast angle. Any rapper out there who thinks you can divide the West Coast, you don't know the West Coast. I know we got our issues. I know we fight. But West Coast is strong. The collaboration is strong. We could fight, the bangers versus the nerdy niggas. The different sets can fight. We're kind of like we're Voltron. We're not the Avengers. We don't have a civil war. And when a civil war happens in the West Coast, it is handled quietly behind doors with some very powerful people who pretty much are going to set the tone and set the terms. Okay. Yes, we had in the early years with Ice Cube and NWA. Yes, but by the time it got to Snoop and Tupac, we didn't hear about that till later. Like, we didn't know that Tupac had a problem with Snoop. Okay, till later is like a afterthought, like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what's really good. But in the moment, nah, it was America's Most Wanted. Two of America's Most Wanted. Okay. So it's like trying to divide, and then the next thing is we're Kobe stans. So you had to know that Kendrick, like, there's a part of us, we love Magic, and I think Magic is the daddy of LA. but Kobe is our spirit. LA is like this. You got God, Magic Johnson's the son, and Kobe is the Holy Spirit. What's up, Diana? You got the Father, Magic Johnson is the son, and Kobe is the Holy Spirit. And that spirit of Kobe comes out. We are going to compete. We are going to compete. So if anybody thinks you can come to the West Coast and not compete against Kendrick, and nobody on the West Coast is going against Kendrick. Nobody. Good luck with that. Drake, you may not get no phone calls from LeBron for a while. He's a Laker now. Okay? I really don't think you're going to get any phone calls from Curry. I think that relationship is over, is dead. You know, it's definitely gone. It's dead. Okay? So, yeah, that divide the West Coast narrative, like, that's just not going to happen. I wouldn't try that. So just for that reason, I think it's done. I think it's over. I think I think we're all in denial because we never thought, how could Drake go down? Like, we never imagined. Am I still going to play Drake music? Yes. I'm going to be playing some Drake music tonight. Okay. I think the only way it'll be different is if he does have a secret daughter, and then I'm going to have to leave it up to the women. They control out here on the West Coast. They control the clubs. Women control. I always tell people, strip clubs are for guys, nightclubs are for girls. And if they start telling me, I don't want to hear that Drake. If you start seeing women with deep dives on Drake, there's certain women who are going to chime in. I don't think it's going to be the sisters. And what I mean by that, meaning, you know, the womanist. If you're into African culture, then you know what I mean by that. I don't think it's going to be the womanist that. I think you're already done with the womanist. I think the womanist, you lost the womanist when you dropped the S word, slave. Like, you lost them already. So, but you know, they will be the ones that will determine. I'm gonna play Drake. I'm not playing none of the battles. I play like that. I ain't gonna lie. The beat is hard. I told y'all. The ultimate winner in this is Metro Boomin. Like, of all the beat makers, nobody came close. Alchemist, that was really great. Like the beat. But Metro Boomin beat all those producers. All of them. That beat is just hard. So that's my opinion on it. That's my take on it. Hopefully y'all see the banner at the bottom. I got my May 18th event coming up. That's just gonna be hard. It's gonna be exciting. I wish I had a new Drake song that everybody knew about, but I guess we're still gonna be playing 310 ball. You know, I guess we're still gonna be playing that one. I'll find out if we're playing Rich Baby Daddy. Oh Lord! I mean, can you imagine if that one gets canceled? Rich Baby Daddy? Oh Lord! For the summer, I can't play that. Oh Lord! Anyway, all right, y'all. I said I was going to give you guys an hour. I gave y'all 55 minutes. Okay. Let me see. Let me just do some more shameless plugs. Follow me, subscribe, like, follow, do all that stuff. You know, wherever you see me at, just please, just you know, Give me that love. Let me see. Let me show y'all this event again. I know y'all can start chiming out if you want to, but let me just do this for the ones that want to know. Like, if you're like, hey, what's up with that? Where is it at? It's on Eventbrite. It's right here. The Saturday brunch, day party, Afrobeat, hip hop, 90s, 2000s. Okay, you can go ahead. You can get up to 20. It's just free reservations. Just reserve a spot. That's all you're doing. Just let me know, like, hey, I need tables. I need, this many people in my party. You got the $25 bottomless mimosas, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're doing all this music. It's great. We're building a community. You know what I'm saying? We're building a community, and I think it's great. All right, y'all. I'm definitely going to the library, and then I get to go back to the gym today because I didn't finish my leg workout, and I got to do the squats version. And I'm gonna be at Palenque tonight in Costa Mesa. So if you want to come through, pull up, come holler at your boy. It's gonna be a good time. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend, so that's the theme. It's really good food. That's it. All right, y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all for sticking with your boy, and I'm gonna get this right. All right, y'all. That's the end of the stream.